Poultry is big business in the state of Oklahoma. In fact, it's big business just about anywhere you go. So when we heard about a small processing plant opening in eastern Oklahoma, well, we had to check it out. Here with the story is Clinton Griffiths.
A quick rinse, a few quick cuts, and these birds are nearly ready to eat. While processing chicken may not seem like a big endeavor, in the world of chicken processing, this small plant in eastern Oklahoma is cutting its own path.
If somebody had really sat down and thought about it very long before doing it, they probably wouldn't do it.
Located in the town of Gideon, just down the road from Tahlequah, the DART processing plant is doing things the old-fashioned way.
Our plant is about putting people to work. It's not all about machinery and equipment. We've only got two things in this whole processing line that plug into electricity.
Currently, the plant is harvesting between 300 and 500 birds a day, with a capacity about 3 times that. In an industry dominated by size, the DART plant is like one chicken in one box in the industry's entire freezer.
Jake, from a size perspective, this is a pretty unique facility.
This is a very unique facility, particularly in Oklahoma. Poultry processing is large scale, high volume, very efficient process. This facility, very similar in nature in terms of the technicalities and logistics of processing, much smaller scale, much more hands-on.
Of course, big or small, the plant still has to meet federal food safety standards. That's where Oklahoma State's Food and Agricultural Products Center stepped in.
What did you do to help them get started?
Essentially, we work to help interpret regulations. It's very complex, it's very confusing, even to the point that it's confusing for the regulators themselves. Because the reality is the poultry industry in the U.S. is very large scale, high volume, and the regulations are written accordingly. They didn't know how to handle a plant of this scale. The regulators, they didn't know how to implement their own rules. And so it was very dynamic and a lot of fun, actually.
The result is the same safe poultry, but the DART plant is getting there its own way, choosing ice for cooling and vinegar and water as antimicrobials, making the meat chlorine-free. Combine that with raising some of their own free-range birds and an offer to harvest for anyone at the price of $2 per fowl. Bring one or bring 100. DART knows it can't compete with big chicken, but it's fulfilling its mission of putting people to work and providing quality local food.
I hate to think that our food comes to us from 1,500 miles away, on trucks and airplanes.
This doesn't mean that's the end of supermarket food supplies. I mean, there's a need for everything, but there are a number of folks who value gathering their food in different fashions, and this fills one of those needs. But the reality is, it's got to be profitable as well, both for the producer and it's got to be affordable for the consumer.
So far, consumers are buying, helping this small Oklahoma chicken processor carve out a niche in an industry stuffed with big business.